my dear friends. Welcome to another episode of JISH Learn English Podcast. I'm Shaelyn, and I'm so happy you're here with us again today.
And I'm Jim. You know, traveling is such an exciting adventure, but it can also be a little stressful, especially when you have to speak English at a hotel.
That's true. Sometimes even simple things like checking in or asking for towels can feel difficult when English isn't your first language. But don't worry, we're here to make it easy and fun.
Yes, we'll show you how to sound polite, confident, and relaxed in every hotel situation.
Just like always, we will take it one step at a time with clear examples, slow explanations, and gentle practice.
And hey, don't forget to download the transcript of this episode and read along with us. It'll really help improve your listening and speaking skills while you learn hotel English.
And if you enjoy learning with us, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with someone who's also learning.
All right, bags packed, passports ready?
Then let's start with our first scenario, checking in at the hotel. Imagine this. You've just arrived after a long flight. You're tired, maybe a little hungry, and all you want is to get to your room and rest. But first, you need to speak English at the reception desk. Don't worry, we'll walk through it together.
Yeah, this moment always makes me a little nervous. The receptionist talks so fast, and there are so many new phrases.
That's very true, Jim. But the good thing is, most hotel conversations are simple and polite. You don't need to use difficult grammar. You just need the right phrases said slowly and kindly.
Okay, so what happens first?
First, you usually go to the front desk. The receptionist might greet you like this: "Good evening. How can I help you?" And you can reply, "I have a reservation."
Reservation means I already booked my room before I came?
Exactly. It's a polite and professional word for a booking. Let's try a short role play so our listeners can hear how this sounds in real life. Good evening. How can I help you?
Good evening. I have a reservation under the name Jim Parker.
May I see your passport, please?
Sure, here it is.
Thank you. You've booked a double room for 2 nights, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Here's your room key. Your room is on the 3rd floor. The elevator is to your left. Breakfast is from 7 to 10 a.m. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That actually sounds simple when it's slow like that.
Yes, and you can hear how polite every sentence is. Good evening. May I see? Here's your room key. Hotel English uses gentle and respectful language. It's all about tone and kindness.
Right. It's not just the words, but how you say them.
Exactly. Let's go over some key phrases from this conversation one by one. I have a reservation. This means you booked your room earlier, maybe online or by phone.
So if I didn't book a room yet, what would I say?
Good question. You could say, "Do you have any rooms available?" That's another useful phrase when you don't have a booking. The next phrase is, "May I see your passport, please?" This is something the receptionist usually says. It's a polite way to ask for your identification. The structure, "May I, please?" is softer and more formal than "Can I?"
So I could also say, "May I have the room key, please?"
Perfect, Gems. Using may and please together makes you sound professional and polite. Now, the next phrase is, "Your room is on the 3rd floor." This tells you where your room is. You can also ask, "Excuse me, where is the elevator?" Or, "How do I get to my room?"
I remember once I got lost in a hotel and walked into the laundry room instead.
That happens. That's why excuse me is such a helpful phrase. It's polite and works in almost any situation. The next phrase is, breakfast is from 7 to 10 a.m. Hotels often tell you when breakfast is served. If you're not sure, you can ask, what time is breakfast?
And if I wake up too late, I can ask, is breakfast still available?
Exactly. That's a polite and friendly question. And then comes the phrase, enjoy your stay. This is a warm and positive way to end the conversation. It means have a good time while you're here.
That's one of my favorites. Short and friendly.
Yes, and if you want to respond politely, you can say, thank you very much, or thanks, you too.
Okay, so I think we're ready to check in like professionals now.
You definitely are. Now, before we move on, let's take a moment to practice together slowly and clearly, okay? Say this with me. I have a reservation.
Good. And here's another one. May I see your passport, please? Very nice. You can hear how polite and calm that sounds.
Now, try this one. Where is the elevator?
And one more. Could I have the room key, please?
Perfect. You're doing so well. Every time you repeat these small phrases, you build more confidence.
Yeah, you're sounding more and more like a real traveler now. So that's how you check in like a pro. Calm, clear, and kind. Good.
Beautifully said, Jim. You know, after checking in, the next thing most guests do is get a little lost.
That's true. I always end up walking the wrong way or standing in front of the elevator, trying to remember which floor my room is on.
Oh, yes, that happens to all of us. Hotels can feel like little mazes, can't they? You walk down long hallways, every door looks the same, and suddenly you're not sure where the lobby went.
Exactly. I remember once in Chicago, I stayed in this big hotel with 2 towers. I went to the wrong tower and tried to open a door that wasn't even my room.
Oh no, what did you do?
Well, I panicked a little, but then a staff member walked by and I said, "Hey, where's my room?" And she smiled kindly but looked a bit surprised.
That's honest, Jim, but maybe a little too direct. Let's make it sound more polite. You could say, "Excuse me, could you help me, please?" That small change, "excuse me," shows respect, and adding "please" makes your voice softer and warmer.
Got it. So, excuse me, could you help me, please? That does sound much nicer.
Perfect. It's a phrase you can use anywhere: hotel, restaurant, airport. It opens the conversation politely. Now, imagine the staff member smiles and says, "Of course." Then you can ask your question, like, "Where is the elevator?" Or, "Which way is room 305?" Or, "Could you show me how to get there?"
I like that last one. Could you show me how to get there? It sounds gentle and respectful.
Yes, "could you" is softer than "can you." Both are correct, but "could" feels a little more polite, especially when you're talking to someone you don't know.
That's a nice tip. So, can you is friendly and could you is more polite.
Exactly. You can use "could you" when talking to hotel staff or strangers, and "can you" with friends or people you know well.
Makes sense. And what about asking for the Wi-Fi password? That's always my first question.
Ah, yes, the most popular hotel question in the world. You can say, "Excuse me, could you tell me the Wi-Fi password, please? Or simply, how do I connect to the Wi-Fi?
That's easy and clear. And saying please really makes it sound kind.
Exactly. In English, excuse me, please, and thank you are tiny words, but they create a big warmth.
That's true. And sometimes I don't understand what people say back. Their accent or speed makes it hard for me.
That's such an important moment for learners. Don't feel shy. You can say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please? Or, could you say that more slowly?
I love that. It's so simple. I used to just nod even when I didn't understand, but that never helps.
Oh, yes, I've done that too in other languages. But really, people are happy to repeat themselves when you ask politely.
That's true. And it actually makes them see that you're trying your best to understand.
Exactly, Jim. And that's what good communication is all about, being kind and patient with each other.
So, if I'm lost or need information, I can say, "Excuse me, could you help me, please? Where is the elevator? Could you show me how to get there? And how do I connect to the Wi-Fi?"
Beautifully summarized. And all of them sound natural and polite. You know, these phrases also help in everyday life, not just hotels. Polite English is like a key. It opens doors and hearts.
That's lovely, Shaelyn. It reminds me of something my grandmother used to say. Kind words travel farther than footsteps.
That's beautiful, Jim, and very true. All right, friends, before we move on, let's take a small moment to practice together. Say it slowly with us. Excuse me, could you help me, please?
And one more. How do I connect to the Wi-Fi?
Wonderful. You're learning not just words, but kindness in English.
That's so well said. I think our listeners are becoming hotel pros now.
I think so too. Next, let's talk about what happens once you're inside your room, when you need something like towels or food. How do you ask for it politely?
Ah, that's going to be useful. Let's dive into that next.
You know, I always find this part interesting. The moment you finally get to your hotel room, you feel relaxed, but then suddenly you realize something's missing.
Oh, yes. Like when you open your suitcase and realize there's only one towel. That's always me.
Exactly. And that's when you need to make a polite request. In English, we usually say, could I have an extra towel, please?
Could I have an extra towel, please? That sounds so simple and polite.
Yes, the phrase, could I have, is perfect when you're asking for something in a gentle, respectful way. You can use it for almost anything, a towel, a pillow, even water.
Oh, so I can say, could I have a bottle of water, please?
Exactly. That's perfect. And notice how you always end with please. It adds kindness to your voice.
Right. It's amazing how one small word can change the whole feeling of a sentence.
It really can. And here's a cultural note. In many English-speaking countries, people appreciate it when you sound polite and calm. Even when you're just ordering something, like food, tone really matters.
That's so true. Once, when I stayed at a hotel in Chicago, I ordered breakfast on the phone. I said, "Hey, can I get pancakes?" The woman said, "Of course, sir," but I could hear her smile fade a little.
Oh no, that happens. It's not rude, but it sounds a bit too casual. You could say, I'd like to order breakfast, please. Or even, could I order some pancakes, please?
Ah, that sounds so much friendlier.
I'd like to order breakfast, please. It's formal, but still warm.
Exactly. I'd like to is another beautiful way to ask for something politely. You can use it in restaurants, hotels, or even shops.
Let's try a few together. How about this? Could I have an extra towel, please?
Perfect. And I'll say, I'd like to order breakfast, please.
Nice! Okay, my turn again. Could you clean my room, please?
Wonderful. That one's especially good if you meet the housekeeping staff. It's short, respectful, and easy to understand.
I always feel a little nervous talking to hotel staff. Like, what if I say something wrong?
That's very common, Jim. Smile warmly. But the good news is, most hotel staff understand guests from many countries. They don't expect you to be perfect. They just appreciate it when you're polite.
That's really comforting. So even if I make a small mistake, as long as I say please and smile, it's okay.
Exactly. Your smile and tone are sometimes more powerful than your grammar.
Yeah, that's good news for all of us.
Once I stayed at a small hotel in London. I wanted an extra pillow, but the phone line wasn't working. So I went downstairs and said to the receptionist, "Excuse me, could I have an extra pillow, please?" And she smiled and said, "Of course, I'll send it right up." It was such a small thing, but it made me feel very comfortable.
That's such a nice example. It shows how a polite request can make communication smooth and friendly.
Yes, and that's exactly what polite English does. It helps you connect with people kindly.
Let's practice a few more polite requests together, slowly so our listeners can say them with us.
Good idea. I'll start. Could I have an extra towel, please?
I'd like to order breakfast, please.
Could you clean my room, please?
Can I have a bottle of water, please?
Lovely. Every one of those sounds polite and natural.
I think the magic words in this lesson are could, please, and thank you.
Absolutely. And don't forget to actually say thank you after you receive what you asked for. For example, when the staff brings your towel, say, "Thank you so much," or "That's very kind of you."
That's true. I sometimes say, thanks a lot. But now I'll try, that's very kind of you. It sounds warm and thoughtful.
It does. And using kind phrases like these doesn't just make your English sound better, it makes people remember you as a pleasant guest.
That's something I'd like to be remembered for.
Me too, Jim. Being polite never goes out of style, especially when you're away from home.
So true. These small phrases can make your hotel stay smoother and happier.
Exactly. And once you get comfortable with them, you'll sound natural without even thinking.
I love that. So what's next? We've checked in, found our room, asked for towels and food. What if something goes wrong?
Yes, when things don't work as they should. Next, we'll talk about how to handle problems politely, like when the air conditioner stops or there's noise in the next room.
I've had that happen before. I can't wait to learn how to complain nicely.
Complain nicely. That's a great way to say it, Jim. Because really, complaining doesn't have to sound angry. It can be calm, respectful, and clear.
Right. But honestly, it's not easy to sound calm when it's 90 degrees and the air conditioner doesn't work.
That's very true. But the words you choose can help you sound calm even when you don't feel calm. Let's imagine this. You're in your room, it's hot, and the air conditioner isn't working. What do you say when you call the front desk?
Maybe I'd say, "Hey, my AC is broken."
That's direct, but let's make it sound a little more polite. You could say, "Excuse me, there seems to be a problem with the air conditioner."
Ooh, that sounds much better. "Excuse me, there seems to be a problem with the air conditioner." It's polite, but still clear.
Exactly. Excuse me is the soft opening. It tells the listener that you're calm and respectful. And there seems to be a problem with is a gentle way to describe the issue.
So instead of saying it's broken, I can say there seems to be a problem with.
Yes, that's the magic phrase. And after that, you can add a polite request like, could someone come to fix it, please?
Could someone come to fix it, please? Nice. That feels very professional and kind.
Exactly. Even when you're frustrated, polite words keep the situation peaceful.
That's smart. Because if you sound angry, people might stop listening. But if you sound polite, they usually try harder to help.
You're absolutely right. Politeness creates cooperation.
You know, this reminds me of one time in New York. The heater in my hotel room made this loud clicking sound all night. I didn't sleep much, but when I called the front desk, I said, "Hi, there's a problem with the heater. Could someone check it, please?" And the man said, "Of course, sir. We'll fix it right away."
That's a perfect example. You were polite, and you still got the help you needed.
Yeah, and he even apologized later for the trouble.
That's the power of calm communication. Let's look at another situation. Noise from the next room. What would you say if people are being too loud?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'd probably start by covering my head with a pillow.
Yes, that's the first step. But if the noise doesn't stop, you can call the front desk and say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but there's a lot of noise coming from the next room."
That's really gentle. I'm sorry to bother you. It shows you respect the other person's time.
Exactly. You're not blaming anyone. You're just explaining your problem kindly.
So, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but there's a lot of noise coming from the next room. That sounds calm but clear.
Perfectly said, Jim. And the same polite tone works in many situations, not just noise or air conditioning. For example, let's say you're checking your bill and something looks wrong.
Ah, yes. That can be awkward.
It can, but here's a simple and polite way to say it. "Excuse me, I'm afraid there's a mistake in my bill."
I'm afraid there's a mistake in my bill. I'm afraid doesn't mean you're scared, right?
Good question. No, not at all. In polite English, "I'm afraid" means "I'm sorry to say this." It makes your sentence softer and more respectful.
Got it. So instead of saying, "Hey, this bill is wrong," I can say, "Excuse me, I'm afraid there's a mistake in my bill."
Exactly. You sound calm, polite, and professional.
You know, I think this kind of language is more than grammar. It's emotional control.
That's such a thoughtful point, Jim. When you speak politely, you're not just using English. You're showing patience and respect.
Yeah, even when you're upset, the words "excuse me," "please," and "I'm afraid" help you stay calm.
Exactly. Politeness gives you power. People want to help someone who sounds kind and respectful.
So true. It turns a problem into teamwork.
Beautifully said. Now, let's practice a few of these polite phrases together. Nice and slow, like a real conversation.
I'll go first. "Excuse me, there seems to be a problem with the air conditioner."
Lovely. And I'll say, "Could someone come to fix it, please?"
"Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but there's a lot of noise coming from the next room."
Perfect. And one more. "I'm afraid there's a mistake in my bill."
These really do sound polite and calm. It's almost like they carry a little smile in the voice.
That's exactly it. When you smile while speaking, people can hear it.
That's such a nice image. I'll remember that next time I call the front desk.
Good. And remember, everyone makes mistakes. Hotels, guests, all of us. What matters is how kindly we speak when things go wrong.
That's true. Being polite doesn't mean being weak, it means being wise.
Well said, Jim. And now, dear listeners, you know how to handle any hotel problem with calm, kind English.
That's right. From check-in to check-out, you're ready to travel with confidence and a polite smile.
Exactly. And before we move to the next part, let's practice these useful phrases together.
All right, I'll say the first one. Repeat after me. Excuse me, there seems to be a problem with the air conditioner.
Good. Now try this one. Could someone come to fix it, please?
Next one. Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but there's a lot of noise coming from the next room.
And the last one, I'm afraid there's a mistake in my bill.
Beautiful. These sentences sound polite and calm even when something goes wrong.
Yes. Keep practicing them slowly. Don't rush. The kindness in your voice matters more than perfect grammar. So, Jim, we've checked in, asked for help, ordered what we needed, and now it's time to leave.
No, the sad part, checking out. I always wish I could stay one more night.
I know that feeling, but let's make sure you know how to check out politely and smoothly. So, imagine you're walking up to the front desk with your suitcase. What's the first thing you'd say?
Maybe, hey, I'm leaving now?
That's honest, but a little too direct. Try saying, I'd like to check out, please.
I'd like to check out, please. That sounds so much better. Soft and polite.
Exactly. Notice how I'd like to sounds gentler than I want to. It's a small change, but it makes your English sound very natural and kind.
That's a good point. And after that, maybe I need a ride to the airport. So I could say, could you call a taxi for me?
Perfect. And adding please makes it even warmer. Could you call a taxi for me, please?
You know, I remember once I said, get me a taxi, and the receptionist looked a bit surprised.
Yes, get me sounds more like a command. In English, especially in hotels, we often soften our requests. Could you is friendly and respectful.
Got it. Could you call a taxi for me, please? That feels just right.
Perfect. Now, what if your flight is in the evening, but checkout is in the morning? You might not want to carry your luggage all day.
Oh, yes, that's always my problem. How can I ask about that?
You can say, can I leave my luggage here for a few hours? It's simple, polite, and every hotel will understand it.
Nice. I remember once walking around London with my heavy backpack for hours because I didn't know that sentence.
That's exactly why we're here. And before you leave the hotel, it's always good to thank the staff. You can say, thank you for your help, or even, thank you for everything.
That's beautiful. It's such a small sentence, but it really shows appreciation.
Exactly. In polite English, those little moments, like please, thank you, excuse me, they make a big difference.
Okay, let me try the full conversation. Good morning. I'd like to check out, please. Could you call a taxi for me? Can I leave my luggage here for a few hours? Thank you for your help.
Perfect, Jim. That's a smooth and polite checkout.
And maybe I'd also say, I'll miss your breakfast buffet.
That's optional, but yes, always nice to leave with a smile. All right, my friends, before we finish, let's take a deep breath and review everything we've learned today.
Yeah, let's go through our hotel journey one more time, from check-in to check-out. You can repeat each phrase after us. Ready?
Here we go.
First, when you arrive at the hotel, you can say, I'd like to check in, please.
Beautiful. And when the staff gives you your room key, you can reply, thank you so much.
Now, imagine you can't find your room or need help. You can ask, excuse me, could you help me, please?
Yes, very nice. Or, where is the elevator? Simple, polite, and clear.
And if you need something in your room, maybe a towel or food, you can say, could I have an extra towel, please? Or, I'd like to order breakfast.
That's right. And don't forget those soft words, please and thank you. They make your English sound warm and friendly.
Now, if something goes wrong, maybe the air conditioner stops, you can say, "Excuse me, there seems to be a problem with the air conditioner."
Yes, and if it's about your bill, you can say, "I'm afraid there's a mistake in my bill." Remember, even when you're upset, stay calm and polite. It always helps.
Finally, when it's time to check out, you can say, "I'd like to check out, please." And, "Could you call a taxi for me?"
Perfect! You've just spoken through a full hotel experience in clear, kind English.
You're sounding more and more fluent every time we practice together.
Yes, you truly are. Each time you repeat, your confidence grows.
So, keep practicing these phrases slowly and use them the next time you travel. You'll sound natural, polite, and ready for any hotel in the world.
That's the spirit. You know, Jim, every time we finish an episode like this, I feel so proud of our listeners.
Me too. You've all come a long way today. From checking in, asking for help, ordering what you need, to checking out with confidence. That's a full travel journey in English.
Exactly. And remember, every new phrase you learn is like opening a new door, not just in a hotel, but in your life. Each word gives you more confidence to explore, connect, and belong.
And just remember where your room key is.
Yes, that too. Confidence is great, but you'll still need your key.
But seriously, you've done amazing today. Speaking polite English is more than grammar. It's about kindness, patience, and calm communication.
That's right. And I want to ask you, our dear listeners, which hotel phrase did you like the most today? Was it, "Could you help me, please?" Or, "I'd like to check out, please"? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your answers.
And don't forget, you can download the free PDF for this episode. It has all the useful phrases, vocabulary, and even practice questions to help you review.
Yes, and take a little time later to review the phrases from today's episode. Reading and listening together will make them truly stay in your memory.
And if you enjoy learning with us, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with someone who's also learning English.
Thank you for learning with us today. You're doing beautifully, step by step, word by word.
And we'll see you in the next episode of JISH Learn English Podcast.
Until then, keep speaking, keep smiling, and keep believing in your English.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.